Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Finley from ENT 645 and this is my identity logo presentation for Pearlfin. Pearlfin is a business idea that I have for a luxury yarn brand in Denver, Colorado. Before I began designing my logo, I thought a lot about the defining characteristics of my business idea. Pearlfin is a luxury brand that emphasizes quality and ethical practices, and I'd want to bring those characteristics to life in my brick and mortar location. I envision a storefront that's open and bright and clean with a very simple modern aesthetic. The yarns would be organized in large displays, providing pops of color and texture against the monochromatic background of the store. In this way, the products would grab people's attention and become the main focus. With this in mind, I immediately knew the type of logo that I wanted. First, I wanted a logo that wouldn't distract from the products. This is the most important thing for me. And the design would need to be very simple and use a lot of restraint. I'd want only neutral colors and a typeface that strikes a nice balance of modern and classic. Although it's very tempting to go with something that's eye-catching or trendy, I don't think going that route would truly represent my brand. My goal was to come up with something that would speak to the defining characteristics of the brand and also be able to stand the test of time. Starting with the ones that did not make the cut, I designed around 10 to 15 logos, and these were the ones I liked the least. I definitely think it's just as important to be able to articulate what you don't want as it is to articulate what you do want when designing your logo. This first logo here, although it is very, simple and modern, like I was going for, I immediately knew that I didn't want to use a tagline. I kind of just wanted something very simple, and so that one was out. And this next one here doesn't read timeless or, simple. Same thing with this one. And the inclusion of the knitting icon was something I immediately knew I didn't want. I think that it kind of gives it more of a crafty look, and that was something I was trying to avoid with the branding. And finally, this last one here, I think it's a fine logo. I've seen it around quite a bit, but it's more of a fashion logo, and it just doesn't fit with my brand. But I did want to include it because I think it's important to note that you can be kind of drawn toward a particular design. It just might not be the right design for your business. So these are the types of logos that I think represent my brand pretty well. And you may look at these and think that they are incredibly simple, maybe even a little boring. And that's exactly what I was going for. I used a free logo maker to create these, so they definitely aren't perfect, but hopefully they give you an idea of what I'm going for. This first one here is definitely my favorite. I think the font is very classic and nice, and I really like the color combination. I could definitely see this being held up against maybe a brighter color yarn and not really distracting or clashing with the product. So ideally, I'd like to have a custom font for my actual logo. But again, this is just to kind of give you an idea of what I want. I could definitely see something similar to this looking really nice on my website and social media accounts. So by eliminating some of the decorative fonts and images, I'm sort of left with this really understated look that will allow the products and the brand to sort of speak for themselves. And finally, I think this design is something that won't become dated in a year or two from now. So I played around with a few of the logos that I liked and made some business cards and a thank you note. And I think they turned out pretty nice. This is definitely very, very close to what I want. So these are the types of things that I would want to show to a professional designer to sort of give them an idea of what I'm trying to achieve. I absolutely recommend working with a professional. In the past, I've designed my own logos and they've looked great on my site, but not so great in print on things like business cards or tags. So I always recommend working with a professional. So that's all I have. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to your feedback.